Hello, hello, it's Simone. I'm here with my very first design team layout for the memory keeping team for Coco Daisy, and I am working with the Pocket Memory Keeping Kit for November only. I'll add some other things in later on, but the cards and the embellishments are Coco Daisy Memory Keeping Pocket Kit for November only. The kit is very wintry and has a very Christmassy feel. So instead of continuing with my week, I don't know what should be up next, 32, I decided to jump ahead to week 48. That's the last week I had printed. I still need to print and choose the photos for week 49, 50, and 52. But I haven't done that because I had been doing a December daily last year. And if you're interested in seeing that, I have flip throughs on my channel and I will link them here. So I'm choosing cards and papers from the kit. And this is what I added in. Those two stamp sets, they were from the memory keeping kits from November. I also pulled some papers. You could just use white cardstock, but I really like the texture of the planner pages for, it doesn't really matter which ones. I just like the grid background and maybe the colors of the weekly spreads. And since I have them and don't use all of them, I decided to use those for my label stamps. So I am just leaving this card very plain. I'm using the stamp set and some stamps. I'm using those Memento Dewdrop inks, and I also pulled in this roller date stamp from I don't even know. I think it's Dear Lizzie, and stamping the dates. And I'm using the darker one. It's not black, it's gray, and this one is a very green, very green. However, it works well with the colors of the kit. And I am using the Design A-Page protectors from Becky Higgins. And since I don't have a fuse tool and I don't really see a need to have one, I decided to just if I use two 3x4 cards or a photo and a card in one 4x6 slot, I am usually just using washi tape to tape those cards together. They look like two different cards, but they are secured well and they will not move in the larger pocket. I am catching up on 2016. I know I journaled about most of this in my December daily, so I do not need to do extensive journaling in here. There is room for it. You could see I could have just added a lot of text to this card, but I decided to take it easy on me and just decorate it. And I added this label. I used the stamp set to add 7.8 kilometers, and then I added this deer with the things, antlers, and that was it. And this is the last couple of days of November and the very first days of December, and I prepared the Advent calendar, which is a tradition that we brought from Germany for my kids, and I took a photo and put it into this album. And now I'm creating a colored label. So this is a tradition that we took on from you guys here in the United States. Usually in Germany, we decorated our tree on the 24th of December or the weekend before, and kept it up till January 6th. Here we see, since we don't have a real tree, we have a fake tree, and there is so many people decorating their trees before December on Thanksgiving weekend. We did that in 2015 and really enjoyed having our tree up all all month. So that is what we did in 2016 as well. And since we had a red couch, and I don't like that red, I try to cover it up as much as possible. Then I'm using the mistletoe card, and I didn't really know if it looked good, so I stamped it on the back of the card first and then tried it on the front. Did it on the front once I saw how it looked. And then I'm adding this, I can't really read what the sticker says, but now I'm doing some journaling about the tree and that my son Joshua uh, insisted of putting up the tree on December 1st, or I think November 30th. He actually insisted on putting it up, and so he did all by himself. And yeah, I made a mistake and I used whiteout and it worked. So yeah, I really like the stars. Those are puffy stars from Bella Boulevard, and I just add them wherever. And since I pulled the November planner pages and there was this design on the bottom of the page, and I really liked that, I decided to just use this to jazz up the photo. So my youngest has a unicorn and the eyes came undone. And my oldest just used them and put them under his glasses, and it looks so funny. So I snapped a picture, and yeah, those are funny moments that I usually don't put into my 12 by 12 album and do a whole layout about. And those are the things that I really love having in my Project Life album. So that I make sure that I add those funny little moments. And now I just stamped a label and I centered everything and just put it down. And this photo, again, it's on the red couch. So I turned it to black and white. Yes, I am combining black and white photos and colored photos. This is not something that I have seen many people do. I'm not really sure if I like it, but I'll just go with it and see what it looks like. I didn't like the colorful pajamas, the red couch, and it didn't convey what I was trying to capture here, which is my son sitting on the couch all day long writing a book on Google Docs. He decided that he was going to be a writer and that he had this great story that he needed to tell, and he spent and every free minute of that week, because interests change quickly with this guy, working on writing his story. And then something about me. I was part of the April Lily design team for the first half of the year. She is changing her approach to her shop. That's the last thing I know. And so she doesn't have a design team right now. But I was lucky to be one of the 5 girls who were on her very first and only design team up until now. And yeah, that was the very first time I was on a scrapbooking design team, and it felt so good. I really love scrapbooking, and so this was like, yay, I made it. No, not really, but it felt a little bit like that. And then I had seen, so I'm a sewing artist, whatever you call it, and I still follow lots of people who sew on Instagram, and I saw those rope baskets and I just needed to try. So I pulled out my sewing machine, ordered the rope on Amazon, and then just did it. And I tried out 2 different versions. Haven't done any more, but I really liked them, and so I snapped a picture that I did it. Okay, now I'm stamping another label, and you can see, so this is something that I really need in my project life is labels. And the perfect project life kit for me would be a whole sheet of labels in every kit. But I haven't seen a kit club that does that. So I either pull in my box of labels, or this stamp set is perfect for that. And there is several stamp sets that not only Coco Daisy has stamp sets that have label stamps. There you can get them other places. Stamp sets work perfect, so you don't have to buy labels. There's also free printable labels. You can find them on Caitlin Schaefer's blog. If I remember to add a link to her blog, I will do that. And the card that I did before, I haven't talked about it, was that my kids, we went to the Giving Tree and chose two kids to give presents to. And I had to snap a photo, and my oldest was not amused. He rolled his eyes, and so I thought that was an awesome thing to do, to put into my project life. Not the rolling eyes, but the. I didn't get one single good photo. So yeah. Then I have this awful, it doesn't really look yummy at all, photo of me making pizza, and I used leftover chili con carne. And it was the ugliest thing we have ever eaten. I usually add leftover bolognese sauce. How do you pronounce that in English? I only say it in German. It's called bolognese sauce in German. So I use that, and that really tastes yummy on pizza. But that was a total fail, and so I added this to my project life because why not? Um, I chose another card for this, but then I saw this one and I decided to just cover up the winter bucket list with a label. And there was this sticker that would have worked well, but I didn't really like the way it looked on top of the label, so I'm going to put that on later at the bottom. I'm adding this poinsettia, and then I'm writing down breakfast, and then I'm journaling that my youngest has started, and he still does, making breakfast on Sundays, which is really great when you are asleep and then you start hearing noises from the kitchen. And then I usually get up and help him, but it's so nice that he does this by himself. And that was the very first time, so I had to, put it into the album, right? So cutting down my photos and having a little bit of a border around it really, especially with those dark photos from the night, really helps tie them into the layout. It is still a very dark spread, but I decided to film it and use it as my Coco Daisy project because these are real life photos. They are not white. They are just my usual photos that I have, and I'm trying to make them work and look nice, to show you that a kit works even with your everyday normal person photos. So I decided to add a little cluster at the bottom of the card, and I'm adding my journaling, and then I'm not really happy with the wide open space on the top of the card, and then I find this label that says winter is coming, and I really like that flag, and you will see it better in the close-ups later on. Now this is two 3x4 photos printed on a 4x6, and I decided not to cut them apart, even though you can't really see what the black is. But it is clear to me, and it is in my December daily. So we heard about this holiday train that comes to our train station, and it is a train filled with all the wintry characters. There's people who dress up as all the things that Americans love, seeing an elf, Santa, Mrs. Santa, more and more characters. And we went there and they had fake snow. And we were like, what? This is like, if I'm not going to trying to offend anyone, but this was something that we would call typical American. So we were like, yay, like this is it can't get a more American than this. So I added this here and I added the snowflake because there is not much snow where I live. So it was really great to have that here. And then I decided to switch out some of the cards. I originally had them on other places, but I liked them swapped out and I changed the sticker on the goggle eyes because it didn't look, I liked a dark sticker there better. Then I'm adding those two um, hats to those two cards, and then I am um, cutting down the photo of the breakfast. I didn't embellish that one at all. And to tie it into the spread, I decided to back it with a card that would match the colors of the spread. So I'm choosing that green card with the hat. I don't have any hat spread things to use, so I didn't mind covering that hat. And then I'm adding more stars, and I think then I'm calling this layout done. There will be some close-ups at the end. Thank you so much for watching, and I am adding my other Project Live process videos, the latest two on the end card. So if you want to keep watching, just click on those. Thank you so much for watching. If I haven't said it before, I will see you next time. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I will have a process video for Coco Daisy for the next 3 weeks using this November kit. I hope you will check them out. See you then. Bye.